May only your word be spoken, O Lord. May only your word be heard. Amen.
Amen.
Please be seated. Can anything good come out of Nazareth? I love this question of Nathanael's, partially because it appeals to the snarkier side of me, but also because the obvious answer is supposed to be no. Nazareth was a podunk little sparrow fart nothing town. The Messiah was not supposed to come from there. And further, at least in Nathanael's mind, nothing good was supposed to come from such a crummy little place. Nathanael would rather have written Jesus off and anyone else from Nazareth. Let's have those people just stay there. And then we'll go and hope for the Messiah to come from somewhere important. God just wasn't playing Nathanael's little game of thinking and making sure things looked good enough on the outside to stroke his ego. Sorry, Nate, God said. I know you want to be associated with a Messiah from someplace awesome. But I'm not here to inflate your sense of self-importance. I'm here to bring about my kingdom of love and grace and truth. And that includes places like Nazareth and other little sparrow fart nothing towns. When we get tied up in the place, the location, where greatness is supposed to be, where we think God is supposed to be, God just says, you silly little humans, I'm not in any one place. I'm in all places. And like the psalm says, even and especially with people and places whom you often deem too lowly to matter. So, while the obvious answer is no, nothing good can come from the proverbial Nazareth, God's response is, come and see. Nathan reluctantly does. Fine, we'll go see your crummy Messiah. And Jesus tells him something pretty huge. First, he convinces him that he is indeed someone worth hanging around and listening to. And then he tells Nathanael, you will see heaven opened up and the angels of God ascending and descending upon the Son of Man. This is, of course, alluding to Jacob's ladder, the story in Genesis 28. I had to look up the chapter. I remember Genesis, didn't know the chapter, but it was Genesis 28. And Jacob, who would later be renamed Israel, from whom the people of Israel come, Jacob was sleeping outside, and he had a dream of the heavens opened up and the angels of God ascending and descending upon a ladder that reached all the way up into heaven. And in the dream, God spoke to Jacob and told him, all the families of the earth will be blessed through you and your offspring. Know that I am with you, and will keep you wherever you go, and I will bring you back to this land, for I will not leave you until I have done what I have promised you. Then Jacob woke from his sleep and said, surely the Lord is in this place, and I did not know it. And he was afraid and said, how awesome is this place! This is none other than the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven. Now, this promise of God did indeed come to pass. Jacob was renamed Israel, and from him and his children came the people of Israel, the laws and the ways of God, the prophets, and even Jesus himself. So, when Jesus told Nathanael, you will see heaven opened and the angels of God ascending and descending upon the Son of Man, he was telling Nathanael that the families of the earth would be blessed in you, Nathanael, and in your offspring, your children, disciples, people whom you will teach about me and my ways. You, Nathanael, can be like a new Jacob. God's mission of healing humanity, of reconciliation to each other and to God, can be lived out through you, Nathanael. And not only that, families of the earth will be blessed through you and through those who come after you. Through you, Nathanael, Jesus was saying, the salvation that I offer, the life of God's love, grace, and truth, can be known and lived and passed on to others. And families of the earth will be blessed through you and through those who come after you. Sounds pretty good. But I have a question regarding that. How many of you have heard of any churches called St. Nate's? Or St. Nathaniel's? Any? No. Me neither. Through you, Nathanael, families of the earth will be blessed. And yet we hear very little, almost nothing of Nathanael after this. Most of what he did was not recorded in the pages of history, and yet through this seemingly unimportant man, families of the earth were blessed. Now, like Nathanael, most of our names are not going to be written in the stars. Most of us will not even have a couple verses in any books at all in the pages of history. And yet the families of the earth can be blessed through us as well. We can all be like a new Jacob, people of the earth, blessed through us and through those who come after us as we live out Jesus' ways and as we share Jesus and his ways and his kingdom of love and grace and truth. Further, the kingdom of God can indeed come from Nazareth, or indeed any sparrow-fart-nothing place, because God does not dwell just in any one place, like the place where Jacob was, sleeping, saying, "This is the house of God." Indeed, the house of God, the dwelling place of God, was in Jesus himself. The angels ascending and descending upon him. The dwelling place of God is within all of creation, within all of humanity. You, me, the important people from great places, and the lowly schlebs from nowhere, like Nazareth, and flooded out shells of church buildings. Our building may not be much right now, but we are Emmanuel, and God is with us. God dwells with us, and God dwells within us. And we can live out God's kingdom of love and grace and truth anywhere. And through us, God can bless the people of West Houston and indeed beyond, truly to the ends of the earth. As far as we can go, and as far as those whose lives we touch can go, and as many as come to know and follow Jesus through us, God can bless people to the ends of the earth. Can anything good come out of Nazareth? Can anything good come out of this flooded out gathering of Jesus' disciples and friends? Come and see.